kids and parents, I deal with them almost every day. I mean, every day there is a new child and a new parent with some of the other problems. And most of the time you find that these problems are very common among students and the parents. Child psychology is my favorite, and today I'm here as a mentor, and I'd like to talk and share my experiences with you all regarding how to understand your child better. Uh, let's make it more interactive by, I will not ask you to speak, but I will definitely ask you to chat. The more you chat, the more we will be able to learn. So my first question for all of you would be that I'm sure that most of you must be parents here, and even if you are not, you must be having siblings and all. So what are the most common problems which you face when you're bringing your children up, or when you feel that your child is not able to understand you, or you're not able to understand your child better? So some common questions or some common problems I would like to see in the chat box, please. I'll give you 1 minute to share that, please. Thank you. Okay, that's a lot of it. That's a lot of it. Lack of opening up, communication issues, laziness, arguing, stubbornness, responsibility, anxious, not following instructions, laziness. Child doesn't share what happened in a day or how the day was. Very good. The child is shy, stubborn, mood fluctuation. I see ego in children these days. They become stubborn and miscommunication, arguing. Child thinks parents don't understand, so does not share. That's a good point, Dr. Varsha. Arguing, okay. Understanding needs of the child. That's very good, Dolma. Arguing, laziness, crying to get something, that is tantrums. Very nice. Stubborn and rebellious, arguing, over concern. They are hesitant to share when they are stuck. Okay, Vinita. Oversensitive. Okay. Addiction to gadgets. Yes. Laziness in finishing homework. Fear. Expecting maturity and certain behavior from the child. Okay. Restless, lack of confidence, comparison, oversensitive, arrogant. Dr. Manpreet. Okay. Back answering. Okay. I think it's a lot. It's a lot to understand. My next question would be to you is, uh, what do you think is the missing element? I mean, you have talked all that from a parent or a sibling point of view. I would be asking you a question. What happens if a child comes and says to you, "Mommy, I'm tired," or "Mother, I'm tired," or "Ma, I'm tired"? What is your reaction to that? What do you say to that? I would just take few chats, please. What would you say to this, that "I'm tired, mommy, I'm tired," or "Ma, I'm tired"? What is the normal first thing which you say to the child? Please, quick. Take rest. Okay, we react and judge them. Okay, that's very good, Dr. Sunita. Please lie down and rest. Oh, I know it's been a long day. I understand. What happened? What do you like to do? Okay, fine. Next question would be, uh, there would be a question that, okay, it's not actually hot, you are not feeling hot, but the child comes and says, "Oh, it's very hot in here." What would be your reaction to that? It's very hot in here, and you know that it's not actually hot, it's around 15 degrees, but the child comes and says it's very hot. Okay, it's not hot. Oh, you're feeling hot. Okay, you've been playing, so you don't make excuses. Wear jacket. That's true one. Maybe you're tired, really. Okay, drink water. Yeah, maybe you're feeling hot. Okay, Priyanka Chauras, yeah, that's good. Excuse for having ice creams. That's why, dear, what's the issue? Okay, great, that's something good. Believe him. Very good, Mamta ma'am. Are you feeling well or unwell? That's very nice. Okay, so these are a few things which happen every day in the conversations when we talk about. And basically, what is the thing which is missing? What is the element that is missing when a child is coming to a parent and talking about all what he or she is saying, and you just are, and actually what you are saying is from your POV, your point of version, your point of view, and you are not able, you are failing to understand what is the child trying to say here. So what is the missing thing here is that we need to understand that what is the child feeling. We need to understand what is the child feeling. Most of the time we find that what is the child feeling, we are not able to understand. We just are looking at it from our point of view, and then we try to give the suggestions according to you. I'm tired, you just slept. I want food, you just had food. I'm really not feeling tired, you don't want to do homework. These are the general answers which the parents give at home when the child comes to them. Here some of them have really given a very good answer, and I believe they have already dealt with child psychology, and they were able to understand what the child is feeling. But most of the time we are not able to understand what the child is feeling. Now suppose what happens is that, okay, there's a small baby in the house, a child sibling, and the child comes home one fine day and comes to you and says, I don't like the baby. What would be your statements? Can you please write in the chat, what would be your statement? I don't like the baby, what would be your statements? Quick. Why? Okay, may I know why? What is your name? Let's talk. Why? You can't say that he's your brother. Okay, Dr. Singh, that's right. Let's discuss why. Okay, baby is God's gift. Okay, it will take time. Sometimes you don't like him. I understand you don't like the baby. Why? He disturbs you. Okay, I will. It will be to understand if he's our family. Okay, you're giving a statement. Okay, fine, great. Make him sure that he feels insecure for that or secure. I don't know. Fine, he's a gift from God that you want. Okay, so fine. You gave a statement on that. Fine. Next question. The child comes home and says, I had a dumb birthday party. This time I went to a friend's house and I had a very dumb birthday party. So the word used here is dumb. What would be your, okay, don't use such strong word. You might be upset, but we can discuss it. Okay, Khushbu Kabra, good one. So what would be your statement as a mother, as a sister? I'm sure you didn't have, oh, really feel that. What exactly does dumb mean to you? Which part of party you did not like? Okay, fine. Great. Hmm. Why so? Okay, fine. That's these are certain things which we find every day, that we generally are the answers could be like this, where we say it's not so. I mean, I know in your heart you love the baby a lot, or you had a wonderful ice cream party, you had ice creams, you had joy, you had your favorite dish was prepared over there. How can you talk that it was a dumb party? But what happens now, just what is happening here is, at times what we do is we just say what is there in our mind to the child. And what happens now, let's take it as an example. You are working in a company, and it happens such that that particular day you went to the office, and your boss has scolded you very badly for something which you might have done it in a better way. Now you come back, you sit down, and then while you're going back home, you share the whole thing with your friend. So uh, suppose you are the friend. What would you say to me if I am the employee who's been scolded? What would be your answer? Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Very right. Hmm. That's great. Very good. Okay. Don't worry, it was just a bad day. Great. Ups and downs will be there. Take it as easy. Okay. I can't understand how he can talk to you like that. Okay. So these are various things which we happen. Now, suppose this happened to me, and I would say, there's no reason to be upset. It's so foolish to feel it this way. You're probably just tired and, blowing the whole thing out of proportion. It can't be as bad as you make out to be. Come on, smile. Now, as a friend, I'm saying this. So what am I doing? Basically, when I say this, what am I doing? Any answers? Preaching. Okay. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Healing. Okay. Denial. Gitika Chopra. The right word is, I am in denial of understanding what my colleague is going through. I just said that there's no reason to be upset. So I'm completely denying the whole thing. So how would I feel? How would I feel? Angry, confused, rejected, frustrated, disappointed, not understood, let down. Okay, great. That's right. That's right. Okay. Now, suppose there is another colleague who is saying, look, life is like that. Things don't turn out the way we always want it to be. You have to learn to take things in stride. In this world, nothing is perfect. So, what am I doing when I say all these things? Gyan. Yeah, hopeless. Philosophy, yes, right word. Motivating. Okay. uh, Taking class. Okay, so philosophy, actually what I'm doing, this is my philosophical response. Okay, this, so how would I feel if somebody comes and says, oh, this is don't give that gyan to me, I know how it is. You're not actually trying to do what, understanding my feeling. Now suppose if I go and say, what you should do tomorrow, you should go to your boss and say, and look, this is not the way it's going to work. Sit down, finish your work, and you can don't get trapped by him, and you just go and say that, don't, you can't do this to me. And you will go there and you will say that, okay, fine, I've done this job, but next time be careful. So what am I doing here? Don't tell me what to do. Gitika is writing the right answer. I am advising. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Even we argue and fight. Solution. Yeah, so we are giving an advice. So fine. Okay, that's great. Very good. Okay. So this is what I'm doing. I'm giving advice. Okay. Now suppose I will to this, if I say that I understand your boss has said all those things to you. Maybe he is also under very pressure and he took out his frustration on you. So never mind. So what am I doing here? Yeah, Gitika is right when she says, I am taking boss's side, supporting boss. I'm supporting the boss. Okay. It's my perspective, giving facts. Okay. Bringing different perspective, justifying, talking other side. Okay. That's great. That's great. Undermining their feelings. Very right. Right. So basically, what I'm doing here is I am defending the other person, or I'm defending the boss. Now, suppose if I'm giving this reaction, oh, poor one, this is terrible. I'm so sorry for you. I know I could just cry for you. What happened with you was not correct. So, what am I doing here? Okay. Pity, empathy, sympathy. Okay. Sympathy, pity, sulking together. That's the right word. Validate. Okay. You're trying to become the rescuer, dramatizing. Okay. Great. So basically, what am I doing here? I am pitying that other person. So these are generally what we are feeling or sharing as an adult. Now, just put this whole situation where the child is coming and talking to you, where the child comes and says all these things to you, and what you are supposed to do with here to the child. So you are supposed to, first of all, help and understand. First thing which you need to do is listen to the child. Listen with full attention. So on your screen, you see this boy is coming to, Arik, punch me, daddy. Do you hear me? Do you even hear me? So he's not listening. He's not even looking at the child. Are you listening? The child is saying, I'm listening to every word. No, you're not. I can listen and watch the game at the same time. Go on. Now here the father is trying to say a thing. I can do both the things. The child has come and the father is enjoying the TV and saying that I'm watching the game. What do you think the child will feel at this time? How is the child feeling when he's coming and, yeah, ignoring? Okay, I'm not heard. Very right. Ignored, dismissed, left out, not understood, neglected. Parent is doing lip service. Okay, ma'am, screen. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Is it visible now? Okay. Yeah. I'm not important. Yes, that is the thing. The child is not being heard too. So, what, instead of half listening of what child is saying, what you should do? Same scenario. Arik, punch me, daddy. Do you hear me? So, daddy, turns the sofa, switches off the game and say, so I hit him back. Then he hit me again, even harder. He's mean. So the daddy is just listening. Know what? I'm going to play with Danny from now on. He doesn't go around punching people. So all you had to do was listen to the child. You know, even as adult, it happens with all of us when we are talking, when we all want to be heard. Half of the communication, half of the frustration, I mean, it happens with me in the school all the time. There are times when parents are very annoyed about certain things, about small things which had happened with their child. Maybe the child has lost his book, child has lost his pencil in the school, or the teacher has scolded, or any other scenario, and the child and the parent is coming to the school so annoyed about this thing, and he's shouting and he's like very annoyed, and all I have to do is just listen to what he has to say. And believe me, times out of number, it has happened with me when the parent has come to school to me and talked to me that your teacher has done that, nobody pays heed to my child and all this XYZ, whatever he has to say. I just listen very calmly. When he's vented out everything, 9 out of 10 times, I find that the parent goes calm back, and he understands, he's got the solutions himself. He's not looking for solution. He's just venting out at times. And the same thing happens with the small child. He is just wanting that full attention, that 100% attention, which most of us fail to give. Okay. Suvidha Shaha raised hand. Okay. Suvidha, can you ask a question in the chat? Okay, so it can be discouraging to try to get through to someone who gives only lip service to listening. It's much easier to tell your troubles to a parent who is really listening. He doesn't even have to say anything. Often a sympathetic silence is all a child needs, right? So listen with full attention. Okay, next would be, sorry, instead of questions and advice. Is the screen visible? Okay, so suppose the child is coming that somebody has stolen my red pencil. So are you sure you didn't lose it? Now you're doubting the child. Are you sure you didn't lose it? So he's saying, I didn't know. It was not on the desk when I went to the bathroom. So, well, what do you expected when you leave things around? So you are either questioning or advising. The other scenario could be you've had things taken before you know. This isn't the first time. I always tell you, keep your valuables in your desk. The trouble with you is you never listen. Oh, leave me alone. This is the reaction which you will expect from the child, because the child has come to you saying, because she's already very upset about losing the pencil, which could be her favorite. Instead of listening and understanding her feelings, what is the mother doing? The mother is saying, you must have left it on the table. And is it the right way of doing things? And how can you be like that? You're so careless. So here, what has the child been going through? And this is what happens most of the time when the child is coming home. Either we are busy with our scenarios, either we are busy with our friends, we are busy with the kitchen work, we are busy with other responsibility. I understand that as an adult we have lot of things to do at home, and when we are a working women, then there are dual role to play. So at times it becomes difficult, but I believe that most of the problems can be solved only by listening to the child, that what he or she is listening, and while listening, understanding what the child is going through. Because what happens is that most of the time we just want to finish off the conversation with the child, and that is what the problem is all about. I believe we just want to finish off, bas fatafat sun liya aur khatam. But do you really think it is going to help us? This is going to not help us. What should have been done instead? So maybe the child comes and says the same scenario. She's saying, somebody stole my red pencil. Oh, I see. I think I left it on my desk and I went to the bathroom and somebody took it. You just respond, could be. That's the third time I've had my pencil ripped off. Oh, I know from now on, when I leave the room, I'm going to hide my pencil in my desk. I see. So you see the difference between both the scenarios. In the first scenario, you are just trying to question and you're advising. In the next scenario, you're just becoming a empathic listener to the child. You're just listening to what the child is saying. And while you are listening, the child already knows the solution. The child has the solution. When she comes and says, "Oh, I have lost my pencil." Okay. I believe somebody must have taken it when I was I left it on the desk. Okay. And then the realization is there. Oh, it must have happened when this is the third time when I've lost it. So she's saying, now next time I will actually going to hide it from everyone. So it's hard for a child to think clearly or constructively when someone is questioning, blaming, or advising her. Believe me, when somebody is questioning constantly, blaming constantly, or advising the child will not be able to think on her own. But if you're just listening, there's a lot of help to be had from a simple "oh, or I see." Words like this, coupled with a caring attitude, are invitations to a child to explore her own thoughts and feelings and possibly come up with her own solutions. So then next is give the feeling a name. Instead of denying the feeling, give the feeling a name. Like, I'm just sorry, just a second. The child has come to the parent and says, my turtle is dead. He was alive this morning. So instead of what the father's reaction is, now don't get so upset. Don't cry. It's only a turtle. And when the child is crying all the more, oh, stop that. I'll buy you another turtle. Now you're being unreasonable when the child says, I don't want another one. All through the situation, you find that what you're doing, you're denying the feeling. The child has come, he's lost the turtle, the baby has lost the turtle, which could be very close. And you're saying, it's just a turtle. I'll buy you another turtle. Okay. Okay. I'll do that again. Okay, I'm sorry. Is it visible now? Could you somebody tell me? It's not visible. Okay. Yes, Tina, what is your quick question? Please tell me. Black tab again. I don't know how to remove that. So instead of denying the feeling, like I was saying, that the child has lost its turtle and it's come to the parent and saying that I've lost my turtle, my turtle is dying. And the father is saying, don't cry, don't throw tantrums, and I'll get a new turtle or anything. But the child doesn't want the turtle. The child has a different feeling here. You have to identify the feeling of the child. What can the child feel here? What do you think should have been done in place of this? Anybody would be giving me the answers here? Okay. What should have been done instead of denying the feeling? Okay, empathize, show empathy. Okay, those who are writing, can you give me the sentence exactly how it should be? I mean, the child has come and said that, okay, okay, fine, you must be upset. Very right, fine. Mirroring the feelings, yeah, that's the right answer. Labeling, understand it's painful, yeah. I know it's heartbreaking to lose a friend, yeah, right. Very right. I was Okay, yes, yes. Let him upset, mirroring the feelings. Understand your feeling. Let's try. Teach about grief. That's very good. That's very wonderful. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Instead of denying the feeling, what you should do, give the feeling a name. The child has come, my turtle is dead. He was alive this morning. Okay, so, oh no, what a shock. I'm really sorry to know about that. But he was my friend. I know it, to lose a friend, it can really hurt. It's so painful. Like somebody said here that, okay, yes, I also lost my rabbit, love wax. So, and I had also, the child is further saying, I know how I taught him so many things. He was my close friend. I told him to do the tricks. So the father is saying, yeah, yeah, I know you two had fun together. And you really cared about that turtle. So I fed him every day. And then the child knows that, okay, the father is able to understand my feeling. Understand my feeling is very important here, because until and unless you are able to understand the feeling of the child, you will not be able to actually go beyond that shell. So parents don't usually give this kind of response because they fear that by giving a name to the feeling, they will make it worse. Just the opposite is true. The child who hears the words for what he's experienced is deeply comforted. Someone has acknowledged his inner experience. So you need to acknowledge the inner experience of the child. You need to try and identify with the feeling of the child and make him understand that, okay, you are in the same pain with the child. The child is not alone. When the child is grieving this pain, you are with her, and you perfectly understand what he or she is going through. This is very important, because most of the time what happens is we generally deny what the child comes, and we just trying to comfort in our way. Okay, Dr. Somal Singh is saying this actually happened with us. My son's pet fish died, and now he doesn't want to have another fish. That's what Dr. Somal. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this is what happened when we are just in the denial of what they are feeling. That it's okay to lose. No, it's not okay for the child. It's very important for the child to be able to create that thing. To be it was the child's favorite. It was. Its friend, companion, you could say. So that loss is a very big loss for the child, and you just need to listen, understand, and make the child feel that yes, it's not I am with you, and I understand what you are going through. I know your feeling, which is very, very important. So just do not deny the feeling, instead just give the feeling a name. Next would be, the next thing would be, instead of explanation, now, like, I want my toasty crunchies. Okay, so we don't have anyone. I don't have that. Okay, I want them. I want them. No, I just told you that we don't have them. Have some. So now you're giving a different option. Have some nifty crisps. No, now you're acting like a baby. So he is a baby. He ought to behave like a baby. You ought to behave like the parent here. The child wants something, instead of simply directly asking them for a logic that, we don't have, so you choose something else. Don't talk in this language to them, that, okay, he is a baby, and he will have to understand that he has his own feelings. You will have to understand what he wants. And the same thing could have been done in a very different manner. Could somebody give me that? Okay. uh, Accept and respect his choice. Okay. Give the crispies in fantasy. Okay, fine. uh Thank you, Gitika, this was a good suggestion. Fancy talk, Dr. Somil Singh. Okay, great. So what do you think would have been in a different way? I mean, how could you do it differently? Let's see that. I want my sorry, I want my crunchies. So you're saying, I wish I had some of them here. I want them. So you are saying, yes, I wish I had the magic power to, get a giant box up here. I wish I had them now. Maybe now that the child is understanding that, okay, the mother is in the fantasy with her, and now the child is realized, okay, fine. Instead of just directly applying logic, you are giving a fantasy. That fine. Okay, I also wish the same. I wish I could get them for you. I wish we could do it together. Now the child knows that, okay, fine, it's not possible. So let's go for the another option. And she says, okay, maybe I'll have some nifty crispy. So when children want something they can't have, adults usually respond with logical explanation of why they can't have it. Often the harder we explain, the harder they protest. And you must have experienced it times out of number when you go to a mall or a shopping complex or a toy shop, and there the child is like, I want this, I want this, and you are trying to say, no, we can't have it, no, we can't have it. So it's about just understanding how much the child wants is easier than to give that logic and that explanation which you are trying to give to the small child, and then telling him that you are behaving like a baby. Now a baby is ought to behave like a baby only. We need to understand. Okay, Prerna ma'am is saying that I don't have it today, but we'll go and buy tomorrow. For today, please manage with something else. But the child wants it today only. I mean, you can't explain the child that, okay, he is bound to have it today only. You are giving another explanation or a logic, okay, we'll go and get it tomorrow. But that is the moment when the child desires. So instead of giving them a logic or an explanation, it's always good that we empathize with them. Okay, somebody is saying, tell him in a positive way why the crispies are not there, make him understand and distract him with some fun. Now imagine the same thing is happening with you. You want something and you are distracted with some fun. Or you're told that, okay, this will happen tomorrow. How would you feel? Just because you are a parent, it is not possible that you will do these things, right? So what do you okay, I think I would offer him something he loves more than the crispies. This is what we do most of the time, but the crunchies are still in his back of mind. Is it possible we suggest an alternative of the child's choice? Yes, that all can be, but in that particular moment it is not about the option, it's not about the logic or the explanation which you are trying to say. It's more important that we need to understand what the child is feeling. His feeling is about that crunchy, and he wants that crunchy. So instead of giving him offering of other things, it's yeah. So Geetika ma'am says fantasy makes it easier for the child to accept reality, that crispies are not there. Well said, Geetika ma'am, thank you for that statement. uh, it is always good that, okay, it can be added to some behavior you want to change in him as rewards. Again, it would be bribing. Yeah, you are bribing this time, so every time you'll have to bribe the child. That's very important that you keep in mind that no, it's not possible, you can't always do that. You'll have to understand that, right? So it's always good to take in the child into fantasy world where the child is able to, okay, yeah, fine. So in fantasy he says, okay, yes, the mother is saying we'll have a magic power, and then the child is slightly, okay, fine, I cannot have crunchy, let's do it. So it would be his own choice. You are not offering him options, you are not offering him choices. It would be his own choice. It would be more important to have his own choice. So what are the things, how do we help the child in dealing with his feelings? First would be listen quietly and attentively. That is the first and the most important part. When a child has come to you, it's important to understand, and you need to leave everything and listen to the child attentively and quietly. Then only maybe you would be able to get through the child. Another would be acknowledge their feelings with a word. Give the feeling a name and give the child his wishes and fantasies. All feelings can be accepted. Certain actions must be limited. So, some scenarios I would like to, some case studies I would like to share here with you. Uh, just a second. Give me a minute. Now, there was this scenario, there is this case scenario where the son is coming home and saying to the father, I'd like to punch that Michael in the nose. Father, why? What happened? Son, he threw my notebook in the dirt. Well, did you do something to him first? This is what we do. Son, no. Father says, are you sure that you haven't done anything? Son is saying, I swear I never touched him. I've never touched him. Well, Michael is your friend. If you take my advice, you'll forget about the whole thing. You're not so perfect, you know. Sometimes you start up and then blame someone else, the way you do with your brothers. Son, no, I don't. I start up with me first. Oh, I can't talk to you. Now, what happened here? Can somebody tell me in the chat in this conversation? Where the child is coming home and saying that uh, I feel that I should punch the friend in the nose, and the father is saying you must have done something first, and you always do the same. You do it with your brother, and he's your friend. You should ignore all this. Okay, yeah, very good, very good, very good. Blaming the child instead of it. Started preaching denial, blaming, and rejection. Blame, yes, very right. Okay, not showing confidence. Absolutely right. Okay. So, what would be the correct thing to do? Now, suppose uh, after listening, after understanding that, okay, we need to listen, we need to acknowledge their feelings, we need to give their feelings a name, give them child his wishes. These are the things which we understood about that. So, how should have it been dealt with? It should have been dealt with like this. The child comes home and says, "I'd like to punch Michael in the nose." Oh my God, boy, you're really angry. You're simply angry. I'd like to punch his fat face. I like to put it. Oh my God, you're so mad at him. Are you so mad at him? You know what the bully did? He grabbed my notebook at the bus stop and threw it in the dirt, and for no reason. So here the child is just acknowledging. Fine. Okay. First, the father is understanding his feelings when he says, "Oh, you are so angry." Oh, matlab, you are really angry. So that is understanding the feeling, identifying with the feeling. Then in the second, when he's saying, okay, I feel like doing this, he did this, he did that, so you're just acknowledging, you must have felt bad. I bet he thought that I was the one who broke his clay bird in the art room. So now the child has come out on his own, that I feel that he must have thought that I was the one who break his toy in the art room. So the father is saying, do you think so? I mean, the father could have said, the way father was acting earlier and now how he is acting, see the difference. Yeah, he kept looking at me all the time. He was crying. Oh, but I didn't break it. I didn't. Okay, you didn't. Are you sure you didn't? Well, I didn't do it on purpose. Now the child has come out with the honest answer. I didn't do it on the purpose. Somebody pushed me and it fell down and it broke. Now the child acknowledges what went wrong and is being honest about the whole thing, that okay, somebody pushed me and the thing fell down and it broke. Okay, so that person pushed you. Yes. So the son is saying, in the process, so many things were broken down, and this bird was also broken, but I didn't mean to break it. Now the child is admitting that yes, the bird was broken, but he did not break it. So father saying, okay, so you really did not break the brain. He says, no, I did not, but I'm sure he's not going to believe me. This is what the child feels, that he's not going to believe me. So you don't think he will believe you even if you told him the truth? Now the child is thinking and then saying, I don't know whether he believes me or not, but once I definitely would like to go and talk to him and tell him what happened, and I'll say sorry that it all happened. So you see the difference between both the scenarios. Okay, the question is, what if child is lying? Okay, now that's what I'm saying. In the first scenario, the child would have lied. Here, the child is honestly talking about his feelings, and the parent is just listening. The parent never asked any question. The child has come out on his own. The parent has just facilitated that honest confession by just being there. First, he listened, identified with his feeling that yes, he is angry, and then the parent is just being there for him. And in the process, the child has himself come out with this. Okay, so learn why he's lying. Most of the time, kids lie because they are scared of others' reaction. It's not only about kids. I think it's all about adults also, right? Okay, so I mean, this is what had happened. He did not ask any questions whether the child has broken something or he hurt him, but the child himself came out in the next scenario about the whole thing. I'm sorry. So any questions here, about understanding the feelings of the child? Do you understand? Have you any questions here? How to know when the child, yes, why we can't say no to a child. It's not about saying no or yes, it's about understanding. You definitely can say no sometimes. Like I say, all feelings can be accepted, certain actions must be limited. So first you have to, understand what the child is trying to say, and then only maybe you should take your decision whether you should say no or whether you should be dealing with any other thing. Is there any way to find out why the child is screaming or having mood swings? Ma'am, what if, okay, if I'll take one question at a time. Is there any way to find out why the child is screaming or having mood swings? Yeah, the first, that, like I said, first thing is to first understand. You'll have to, there was a time when a child comes home very angry, and she is like sitting on the sofa and very angry. So what the mother does, mother goes and just sits down, doesn't say a word, understands that the child is angry, not saying a word, just holds the hand and sits down. After 10-15 minutes, no question asked, no answers given, but the girl started feeling better. So that is, you are just there, you just make them feel I'm there. So this could be the first step. Second would be, first understand, make the child, I mean, most of the time what happens is, we being the adult, we try to come to the conclusion of the whole thing. We just jump to the conclusions, we just go down to that, okay, something must have, and the first thing is we doubt our own child, you must have done something. So it's better that we don't do that. So it's like change, it could be anything. Okay. Okay, the other question is, what if child has physical fight with, again the same thing, you will have to understand why the child, because the child will not go ahead and do it just like that. The child will do it only and only when there is a reason behind doing it. He won't be going just like that and doing it. So first you will have to understand. What if the child doesn't come to the last conclusion on his own about clearing it with other child? You will have to further keep being with him, and sometimes he may not come out. Sometimes there may be times when the child does not come out, but the idea is not that whether he is coming out with a confession. The idea is, you'll have to be with your child. The child has to feel you as a parent are there for the child, right? So I said, these are the few things which we can do to help the child. You can listen quietly and attentively. You can acknowledge their feelings with a word like, oh, I see, I know, I understand. Like, you can give the feeling a name. The child comes, I'm very angry. Oh, yes, I can see, yes, you are angry. So you are giving the feeling a name. You are frustrating. I can see you're frustrated, kind of thing. Give the child his wishes in a fantasy, like when the child says, I want this, I want a cake, fine, रात को 9 9:30 the child has come and says that, I want a pie, a chocolate pie. So it's not possible, it's very cold outside, you know that it's not possible, market is closed now, how to do, you can't even make it. So you develop that fantasy in the child, I wish I could make that pie, and I could put those extra chocolates in that. And this is the way you guide the child to a different world, and then the child says, okay, fine, we'll have it. That, okay. So that is the thing is that, okay. um, there are a few questions, let me check them. Any suggestion on how to deal with emotions of toddlers, as uh, they they can't express words to that? See, yeah, for toddlers it is like, I think the best thing which we can do with the toddlers is, you can hold them first. You can make them feel belonged, you can make them feel warm, you make them feel loved. Once you make them feel loved, belonged, there are times when the child is quiet with that only. That feeling of belonging, that feeling of that motherly love or that fatherly touch would most of the time help the toddlers to understand. Uh, until and unless the child is medically unfit, you will find that these things will help, because the moment you hug a child, the moment you hold a child, the child feels belonged, the child feels safe and secure. That's more important, right? Now, another question, the question would have come that, okay, Suppose there's a question, is it important that every time I empathize with my child? What would be the answer to that? Every time, should you empathize with your child? No. Okay. Okay. Setting limits is important. When child is in negative emotion, very right. So you need to empathize with the child when mostly the child is in a negative, in fact, negative kind of situation or emotion. Okay, fine. Next question could be, what's wrong with asking a child directly, why do you feel that way? Why it is wrong to ask the child directly? Okay, they make them feel bad and blamed. Or what else could it be? Most of the time, child herself doesn't know. Yes, child may not know. Okay, that's right. That's right. Sometimes it happens that if we ask the child, sometimes the child may not feel that you would be able to understand what the child is feeling. So if you ask a direct question, maybe he or she is not able to express his or her feelings very openly because he doesn't feel that you would be able to understand. Yes, child is unable to express, may feel threatened. That's the right answer. May feel threatened. Right, absolutely. Okay, I'll give you one or two situations. Just give me the answer. Suppose a child comes and says, my teacher says she is calling off the class play. She is mean. What would you answer to that? Question is, my teacher says she is calling off the play and she's not doing it anymore. How mean is the teacher? What would you react to that? Very good, Hetal. You must be upset. You worked so hard for you. Very good. That's very good. Oh dear, you worked so hard for you. Very good. I think this would be the right answer, that it must be a big disappointment for you. You work so hard for you and you seem to be very upset. So you are identifying with the feeling of the child. Okay, fine. Let's move on. I understand you wanted to be a part, you worked so hard, but yeah, that's right. I understand you wanted to be a part of it and you worked so hard. Very right, Pranama. Absolutely correct. Okay. Now I'll just relate some of the parent stories where the parent is saying that, okay, suppose my son is a first grader who is not aggressive and doesn't get into fights. Therefore, I tend to be overprotected because he seems so vulnerable. We all do. On Monday, he came home from school and told me that a boy in his class, who is much bigger than he is, sent a deputy over to tell him that he was going to beat up tomorrow. Now, imagine your child coming home and saying this to you, that somebody in the school came to me and said that the big bully boy of the senior class is going to beat me up tomorrow. What would be your reaction if this situation happens with your child? If somebody comes and says this, oh, you must have been scared. Okay. Oh, okay. Immediately inform the teacher, talk to principal. Okay. Oh, that sounds crazy. We'll tell him to beat him back. My God, ma'am. Inform the teacher. Let's discuss calmly. Oh, I see. It must be terrifying. Could you inform the teacher? Don't worry. Explain me what happened. Don't worry. We will handle it. Okay. So you are taking the responsibility. Okay. You must be afraid. You want me to talk about it without telling a child? I would call the teacher. Okay. What are you going to do? You must be terrified. Okay. Now the parent relates and says that what the parent did, I'll just share the scenario, what the parent did. He's decided to listen attentively and just answer, hmm. So the boy said, yes, so I figured out 3 strategies for defense. Now, before you go and become the advocate, the child is also able to think. So he says that I have 3 strategies which could happen. First thing, I'll go and talk to him that, okay, let's not fight. It's not good. But knowing that he is a bully, I don't think he is going to listen to me. Then what I'll do is probably I'll just put on my glasses and maybe that would stop him. But even if that doesn't stop to him, and if nothing else works, what I will do is I'll ask my friend's brother who is as big as him to go and beat him. Now, when the parent just responded, so the child opens up. But instead of responding, look what we are doing. We are offering him solutions directly. And we are taking away the one option with the child, the thing of thinking. The child also has his own ways. The child would be able to come out. So we just do what we simply offer solutions. And this is what we do always with the children. Let them come out with their own solutions. Sometimes their solutions could be better than our solutions. So yes, that's what I'm saying. Now the parent said, and the child come out with 3 options. First is maybe I'll go and talk out with him and say that no fighting is bad. Second option is saying maybe I'll just protect myself by wearing glasses and he will feel I should not fight. And third option is the crucial one where he feels that, okay, he's a bully and he may not go for these 2. So what will I do? I take help of my friend's brother who is as big as them. Okay. And that is what I would do. So I was shocked and just said, oh. And he said, okay, it will be okay. I have plans to use, and walked out of the room relaxed. Now, this was the first part of the whole thing, that the child walked out of the room relaxed, that, okay, I was heard, my plan was heard. And then he's understanding that, yes, something is right. The child goes to school. In the meantime, what as a parent you can do, you can talk to the teacher, inform the teacher about the whole thing, that, okay, this is what has happened, and there could be a fight in the school tomorrow, so just be careful. Now, the next day the child goes to school, and the teacher then comes up and says that, okay, nothing happened. The child comes home and says nothing happened. So we know the whole thing. I tell my child to talk to class teacher and give chance 3 times, then give him back. Got to make him strong. Okay, you can't make the child strong by just giving him that, okay, fine. What if the from us make him feel parent is not interested in my issue? See, when you respond that means you are listening attentively, and that is the first requirement to understand the feelings. Try this with your child once, and then you will actually come to know that, yes, when you and then the child is able to understand. He knows the difference between one, you pretend to listen, and the other thing is when you are listening from your heart. The child is always able to make out that difference. So if you go ahead and I've learned this from the workshop, or I've learned it from some book or something, and now I'm experimenting with the child, and you just say so the child will understand you're actually not in your heart with it. The moment you put your heart into that, you will know that the child knows you are listening attentively. So you will have to actually make the child feel that. It shouldn't just be the word it should be the feeling behind it. Your heart should be with that. The words, your tone, your attitude, your feelings, everything together will make that impact. It's not only about that or oh, it's about your feelings, your heart, which you have put it, and you're giving your 100% attention to the child in that. That will make thus. Okay, after acknowledging, can we ask the child what you plan to do? I think the moment you will be attentively listening, the child would be able to come out with his own suggestions. And if he doesn't, then again you will have to probe it. But you cannot just directly ask questions, because the moment you are directly ask questions, the child may go in his shell. So don't you ask the question directly, that what you plan to do. When you are listening attentively and you identify with the feelings of the child, maybe the child will open up. What if the child is scared and tells want to go to school? Should we offer solution? Again, yes, we will come to the solution, but don't give a solution. Let's come to the solution together with the child. Just talk to the child one after another, but not in the form of a question or like that. Just understand the feeling, empathize, because when you ask questions, the child feel interrogative. So don't ask questions, just empathize with the child, be with the child, will himself open up. Yes, we will come to the solution, but it has to come to the solution together. Don't just go and give the solution to him. What if the child is too scared to handle the situation and ask the parents what to be done? In such cases, when the child is too scared and not able to handle the situation, you will have to first make the child feel safe, and then later on offer him choices, that okay, these are the things which you can do, which we can do, you and me together, we can come to these solutions. What do you think, which of these solutions will suit your needs? So instead of giving him a direct solution that okay, I'll talk to the teacher or I'll talk to the principal, instead of giving that, give them 3 4 5 choices. Let the child himself decide which of the options suits, because then he will take the onus of the whole thing and will be able to deal with all the other situations in life, maybe in a much better manner. So that could be the thing. uh, don't treat the child as miniature, instead as individual, and child as the individual thinking. Very good, Dr. Manpreet, you are right when you say that the child is not a miniature, he is an adult. A child starts thinking at the from the child. Yeah, make child be the best decision maker. Okay. Okay, that's what, right. Child also has all kind of emotions, yes. Okay, now let's, okay, so true. Sometimes they come up with much better solution. Yes, that's what I was trying to say, that sometimes the children are able to come out with better solutions than we as an adult look at it from our perspective. Children are more sensitive. By giving solutions quickly, we deprive them of learning experience. Right, Geetika ma'am, absolutely correct when you say that. Giving solutions, we are depriving of them own experiential learning, which is very important. What if child chooses as choice to come to school? Yeah, if the child chooses, then definitely you should go to school, because then the child will feel, yes, my parents are listening, and they are in it with me. Once you go to the school, not necessarily you talk to that particular child, maybe you just talk to the teacher, and you give the option to the child, yes, I'll be there, but I think you can handle it in a better way. So the child would be able to have that confidence and strength in him when he knows that okay, my parent in school. I have experienced it many a times when parent comes and says that okay, I asked what happened, why have you come today? So the parent is saying that ma'am, there is nothing wrong about anything, but the only thing why I have come today to the school is because my child felt that I should come to the school because there was some problem with his friend, so he wanted that I should be in the school. So just to give him that strength, I was there. And believe me, most of the times when I see in the school, these problems get sorted then and there. The child, when next day comes to the school, the earlier day thing was forgotten also at times. It has happened many a times that a child goes home crying and the parent is really troubled and all those things, but next day morning when the child comes to school, the whole episode is at times forgotten. The parent has come to the school just to support. So we can take that choice, make that choice to go to school, and do things with them. So that helps him believe in himself, that his confidence develops and he is able to believe in himself, right? Okay, let me discuss one more case scenario with you, that there was a father who is going for fishing, and his boy also wants to go to fishing with him. So but the father does not want to take the boy to the fishing thing, and he says to the boy that now he directly doesn't want to say no. So what he does is goes and tells to the child that okay, it's very cold out there, and when we go fishing is going to be all the more cold, and it's going to be dark, and you know how it would be. So the child is thinking for 2 minutes and then says that and then the father says, in spite of that, if you want to come, you may join. Now, the father has first created a situation where the child could be scared, and then the child said, okay, I don't want to go. I will be at home only. Now, the father leaves, and after 5 minutes, The child starts crying that Papa did not take me to the fishing thing. I wanted so badly to go to the fishing, and the child is crying bad. What do you think the mother at home should be doing here? Father is already gone, child is crying, and now what should be the mother's statement to make the child feel better? Any answers? Okay. Okay. Very good, Meenakshi. Next time when the weather is good. I understand you wanted to go today. He really wanted to take you, make him feel comfortable. Tell him that still we can have fun. Okay. You really wanted to go, but you did not get much time to think and decide. Very right, Geetika ma'am. See the child, what father said was true. Okay. Let's pray together. We'll have mother-son duo. Okay. Empathy and then involve him in something else. Okay. That's right. That's right. Okay. So the first reaction of the mother was, see, you decided yourself, your father asked you and you decided yourself to stay. So so now you better stay. But then later on, mother thinks and she feels that, oh no, it was not right thing to do, and goes to the boy, and the boy is like feeling very upset and sitting alone in the room, and the mother goes and says, it seems that you really wanted to go fishing today. I understand that you really wanted to go today. So what is the mother doing here when she says that I understand you wanted to be with daddy and go? What is the first thing she is doing here? Very right, Gitika ma'am. She is acknowledging the feeling that the child wanted to go, and then she says that, okay, I think you felt confused when this happened, and you were like, you did not get enough time to make that decision. What is the child doing here? What is the mother doing here? When the mother says that, I understand that, yeah, very right, Gitika ma'am. The mother is now giving the name to that feeling, that yes, I understand that you did not get enough time to make that decision. Yeah. So acknowledging the regret, being in shoes, so you're actually giving the feeling a name here when the mother says, okay. So now when this happened, the child is like, okay, yes, now mother understands me, mother knows, she's acknowledging my feelings, so she's like, okay, fine. At that time point, at this point of time, the child is understood. He feels that I am understood by my parent. She understands what I'm going through, and I believe that is the most important point of the whole thing. You need to acknowledge the feelings, you need to understand the feeling. The child is feeling relieved after that. The child felt actually relieved after that, and then he went off and started to play, and he forgot the whole thing. This is what had happened in the thing. uh, I want to know whether dad did the right thing. It was not supposed to be done in the same manner. Maybe he could have, again, we will come back to the same thing. He could have understood the feelings and then accordingly could have changed and made up the mind. Or maybe at times, if need be, the decision has to be changed. So I will not say into right and wrong. What I will say is that it could have been handled the things. After that, she could call dad and scold him without the dad knowing, without the child knowing. Okay, so it's all about scolding. Okay, that's what. Okay, it's already 7:15. Dr. Mittal, do you think we should stop here because it's going to take a lot of time?
As you wish, ma'am. How much time it will take more?
I mean, I think first part of the whole is completed. If we go for the second part, it will take another 40-45 minutes.
Can we take it other time?
Yeah, I think we can take it at the other time, and that would be a better thing to do. If any other questions are there, I think I can take, but otherwise I think it's the first part is almost done.
Ma'am, you can thanks everyone and
Okay. So thank you everyone for being here with me, and I hope I've been able to, really answer some of your questions. And if at all you need, we'll be meeting again. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Mittal for this whole thing. And we'll definitely meet again, and we'll be talking about the other part of the whole thing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, and thanks a lot. Thank you, all of you.
it was such a magnetic voice. We all got mesmerized and we forgot how the.
Thank you, Dr. Mittal. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure sharing all this here. Thank you.
If you would not have reminded us about the time, we would have continued for 45 minutes, 1 hour more.
Then I did a wrong thing. I think I should have continued.
Your voice is very magnetic, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. It's really a blessing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Thank you so much for the compliment. So thank you once again, everyone. And it was really a delight. And I hope that we would be a better parent, maybe even if it is for 1 or 2 more times, whenever it happens, we'll be more patient, we'll be more empathetic, and maybe we'll be able to identify with the feelings of the children. So thank you once again. And Dr. Mittal, shall I leave?
So this is Aarti Jain, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.